your turn.
When monsters like these are cornered, they cause a space-time vortex to appear. An electromagnetic shock usually shuts them down. It's been a while, Sarah.
Is that you?
I'm grateful you remember me.
Who's this?
Oh,
Director of Academy Research, Team Alpha. Hope Est, I'm at your service. And you must be Noel.
Nice guess. Who told you?
You appeared here with Sarah some years ago at the Brescia ruins. Subsequently, we analyzed the gate and forecast your reappearance at this location. To be honest, I didn't really believe that time travel was possible. But here you are. I'm really glad you're safe. For me, it's as if time has stopped. Everyone I knew is gone.
Hope.
From your point of view, it's been years since you last saw Sarah.
Not just Sarah, Snow as well. And Saz and his boy. You all disappeared from my life. It's been 10 years now.
I never thought...
When the paradox occurred some years ago, I thought if I could solve it, maybe you would all come back.
Director, help! There you are! What were you thinking? Taking off and leaving me all on my own. It was a shock seeing Hope grown older than me, but he was still the same Hope I knew. Lightning, Hope listened to my story without saying a word. I told him about how I'm the only one who remembers your smile on the plane of Grand Pulse. I told him about how Snow set out to try and save you and Vanille and Fang. And I told him about Noel. Noel from the future.
There's something I want to show you both. We can continue our conversation as we walk.
I'll show the way.
Shall we?
Tell me, Hope, what made you join the Academy?
A sense of duty. Vanille, Fang, Lightning, they turned to crystal so that we might live. It was an enormous sacrifice.
My sister and the others. I think they wanted to preserve life. They gave us a chance to live again.
They put the future in our hands. We're in a position to build a society based on human technology. No longer subject to the whim of the fal'Cie. That's the gift we've been given.
Sarah, you've just stepped into the near future.
You must be curious about a few things.
So what's Alyssa doing here?
I'm assisting the director with his research. We're analyzing the gate mechanisms and the paradox effect. Isn't that right, Director?
Thanks to Alyssa, we've been making rapid progress. It was her research that allowed us to calculate your exact arrival and point of entry.
Huh. I'm impressed.
How long has it been? 5 years? You two haven't changed at all.
I hope not. And here we are, meeting in ruins again.
Ruins are places where memories gather like dust. So many layers of time. Probably the easiest place for a paradox to occur. We've made significant progress these past 5 years. This is the front line of paradox research. This eclipse is so unusual. We've made significant...
Guests of yours, Director? Watch your step in there.
Thank you.
Isn't the Academy a research institute? Why do you need so many soldiers?
Without the fal'Cie around, we have to be able to protect ourselves. And that means guns.
The time distortions spawn hostile creatures. Until we can resolve the paradox, we need military force to repel threats. These armed patrols are essential for our safety.
Can you explain the spatial route map?
We can't find anything to support our hypothesis.
You know, I wish you'd said where and when you were from the last time we met. The whole place was in an uproar after you suddenly disappeared. I'm so glad Mog is still... The whole place was in...
It's hard to believe it's really been 10 years. So much time has passed.
This is some kind of ancient city, right?
The city of Padra, or so we believe. It was the center of a great kingdom built by a nation known as the Farseers.
The Farseers? You're telling me there used to be enough of them to build this entire town?
According to our research, we believe they constituted an entire nation. A polity that was ruled by a Cirrus.
Can you see me now? Standing here in this place?
So this nation, Padra, their leader was a Cirrus, right?
Yes. The Cirrus would read the fates, see the future, and guide her country.
Yule.
Here.
Thanks.
You've traveled through time. I suppose it's not surprising you know about these things. The power to rule was passed down from one Cirrus to the next. She was always called Yule.
If they could read time, why did they die out? Surely they could see the danger coming and do something to avoid it.
No, they were destroyed because they could see the future.
Why?
The Cirrus Yule foresaw the future destruction of this city. Some citizens wanted to try to avert the disaster, Others felt that they should simply abandon their homes and run. A few fell into despair and took their own lives. The divided populace clashed. The nation was torn apart by civil war.
Being able to see the future is awfully dangerous. It can mess with people's heads.
Tell me about it. The nation fell apart, and the survivors fled into the wildlands, avoiding contact with others.
Huh. So you know the story.
Oh! Come on, Director Hope! I want to show them! It's okay to show them, isn't it?
This way. Here. This is what lies at the heart of our paradox. The Oracle Drive. We've been giving it careful study.
But how did you...
Wait. You know of these devices?
Oh, well, yeah. I've heard of them. In books and stuff.
The Oracle Drive appears to be some kind of recording apparatus from ancient times. We've excavated a number of the devices. However, the recordings depict things that cannot be possible. Perhaps you should see for yourselves.
This is how it works.
The device was excavated from an ancient part of the ruins. We used carbon dating methods to determine age. The device and the recording stored within are several centuries old.
But it shows lightning.
Someone in the past recorded this vision of the future. Perhaps it was the Seeress Yule herself. What we're concerned about, however, is this. You'll have to excuse the image quality. Yes, I think so. We need to conduct further analysis to be certain.
Is it broken?
No. We've tested both device and data, and everything is nominal. Yet, when we try to view the recording, we get this. Perhaps it's not the recording that's broken. It's the immediate space-time in which we are located.
You mean it could be the paradox? Because the surrounding space-time is twisted, that might be directly affecting the device. So, if the paradox is eliminated, space-time will return to normal. Then we could see the prophecy and find out where my sister is.
Yes, I believe so.
Right.
Here.
An artifact.
This object serves as a key, is that right? We tried to make it work ourselves, but with no success.
Yeah. We can use that to travel across time.
Then you may have it. I think it'll be far more useful to you than us. Here.
During the years that passed as we traveled outside time and space, Hope had devoted himself to his research, trying to unlock the mystery of the paradox. If the gates are the cause of the puzzle, they might also be the key to unlocking it. But I wonder, am I getting closer? Will I find lightning in the end?
Time to find that gate.
It was in the ruins.
They found traces of what looks like a large-scale battle in these ruins. They uncovered piles of bones that were all scratched up.
They must have been fighting monsters too.
The thing is, the scratch marks suggested they were inflicted by people.
The Academy's troops are made up mainly of former Sanctum soldiers. My commanding officer even fought in Cocoon's capital city.
Maybe it's time to put in for a transfer.
I'm collecting parts for my computer terminal. If you've got any, I'd be happy to buy them from you. What I really want to get my hands on is the battery used for one of the older models, like the kind they used on Cocoon. It wasn't a very popular model, so the parts are scarce. I saw it in a store window once. I got excited and ran in, but it turned out that the item had already been bought. Really? You'll help me try and find the battery? It might be an impossible task. I already called every store in the book with no luck. But if you say you can get your hands on it, I'll believe you. Thanks for doing this. You want to know what I'll be using it for? I'm a collector. I want to get my hands on all the retro electronics I can.
Are they allowed to be on their own?
Come on, Mom.
You're friends of the director, right? Don't let me get in the way of your investigation.
Under your nose.
Make sure to watch your step when you're walking along the cliffs. It's a little embarrassing, but this one time, I accidentally slipped and almost went over the edge. At that moment, I was sure I was gonna die. Fortunately, help came right away, so the only casualty was my wristwatch. It's now lying at the bottom of the valley. It scares me to think that could have been me. I still miss that watch. It was an expensive one that had to be modified to withstand all the wear and tear of the outdoors. What a waste. You'll look for my watch? Are you sure? Believe me, I've tried, but have had zero luck. With the eclipse keeping everything in the dark, it's almost impossible to see anything around here. I doubt it's the best time to go searching.
Go, Mom.
Good job.
If only the eclipse would end. Then there would... It was a custom-made watch made...
Impressive. How'd you do that?
Fieldwork is too dangerous for me.
If I could go back in time, I'd go back 10 years ago and try to stop Cocoon from falling out of the sky. Although, I guess that would mean we would be under the Foul Seas rule again.
If only the paradox would get resolved.
I want to live as close to Cocoon as possible.
The Academy is becoming more and more influential in government. Although some dislike the politics of scientists, they're the smartest people we have.
on Cocoon. They even controlled the weather.
I work better at night, so I wouldn't mind if daytime never came.
Director S time. Is the personification of the Academy's idea. No more relying.
I always miss the excitement.
I just got a call from the director. You guys get a free pass, but remember to be careful.
Here. This must be the gate Hope was talking about.
Maybe. Yeah? What?
There's something on your mind.
Yeah, well, sure, but it's just personal stuff.
Is it about the Cirrus?
Ah, that's right. Nice guess.
It must be so strange to be able to see beyond your own present.
That reminds me of something Lightning told me. She said that from Valhalla, you can see all of history.
If that's true, then the Padre Cirrus and Lightning have seen the same things. Which means Lightning already knows what's going to happen to us. Something had been bothering Noel. And it had been ever since we heard the story about the Padre Cirrus Yule. But, of course, he wasn't the only one who was troubled. Was it really lightning I saw in the flickering images of the prophecy? The only way to find out is to go through this portal and solve the paradox.
Ever, Grand Pulse, a land that bears the scars of ancient war, where flakes of crystal gather and shift like sand in the desert. The Academy has restricted access to this place because it is the homeland of the two heroines who turned to crystal and held Cocoon safe in the sky. It is a land that now, 200 years later, has been swallowed into a rift between time and space.